So the judge made law. So this one, we're talking about the constitution and then the ruling. I made a video, or I'll upload it after this one. You know, the thing is, naturally, there is constitution. And if you watch my video regarding the 8 types of courts, right, I gave you the hierarchy, the this thing. Make sure you watch that video as well. In fact, just go through my courts law 101 playlist. I've arranged those topics according to how you should understand it, right? So you know, the constitution is the most supreme of all cases, and the common example I like to use for common law, for constitutional law, is freedom of speech, right? So regardless of whatever you are going through, even if you are the most hardened criminal or this thing, one thing that a country cannot take away from you is your basic human rights, where people always say my fundamental human rights. So that's freedom of speech, freedom of movement, right to life, right to, you know, this thing like that, you understand? So, and like I said, in my next video, you guys will see the video after this one when I talk about constitution as rule of law, right? But let me just give you like a glimpse. So the thing is, the constitution, right, when the government sit down and just say right to life, right to freedom, right to this one, it's just a piece of paper. The only time it becomes active is when you take somebody to court and the judge now proceeded over it that truly, oh, this thing is valid. So like the example I made in that video that I'll be uploading next. So let's say the one I'm making this video, police came to carry my enemy that why are you making a video, and I also the police to court that you're violating my fundamental rights, freedom of speech. I have right to freedom of speech. Let me say I now took the police to court, right? So for violation of my freedom of speech. And if the judge now say yes, you violated as freedom of speech, why would you do that? So it is only at that point that that freedom of speech that was written in the constitution is now a precedent, like is now valid, right? So that means that even after my case, if somebody sue maybe a soldier or a president or anything for violation of their freedom of speech, the person will now refer to my case that as ruled in the case of Dominion versus police officer for freedom of speech. So that judge too will use my case. But let's say after I sued the police to high court, right, and the judge was not like, I don't know what you're talking about, what is freedom of speech, don't make such video again, go home, right? So at that point, whatever is written in that constitution is just a piece of paper, because the judge did not breathe life into it. Like the example I gave in that video that you guys are going to watch next is that, you know, the way God created us, he molded us with soil, with clay. Like there was no life into us. So that clay is the constitution. So for us to start living as human beings, talking like human beings, breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide, God had to blow life into it. So the constitution is the clay. So the judge ruling is the life that is breathed into it. So without the judge making use of the constitution as a case precedent, the constitution is just a piece of paper. It's just there. The constitution said that. So in the scenario I was giving, like if the judge now say, you say, why are you talking? Go home, don't make videos again, right? So that means that constitution of freedom of speech is just there inside the paper. So even if there is another person, maybe somebody sued the president or any member of parliament or anything to court for violation, it will continue that who told you to talk? Go back home, don't talk again. But the thing is in the constitution, but there is no breath to life to activate it, because there is no judge that has ruled there. I hope you understand. And that's why when people win cases or lose cases, of course there's always a winner, there's always a loser when people go to court, right? So the winning party or the loser party or the one that is not okay with it, that's when they will go to high courts, they go to appeal, they go to supreme, you know, to go and appeal for higher court. That's because they believe that the courts did not actually interpret that constitution well, or that law that is existing. For example, now let's say this law say, for example, let me use the one that people are familiar with, freedom of speech. If you go to the constitution, freedom of speech, you know there's no say freedom of speech for just 2 hours in a day. There's not freedom of speech for just 3 hours in a day. So let's say I was actually attending a lecture and the lecturer was talking, and then I'm talking to my friend, you know that thing, that thing, and then the teacher was that I should keep quiet. I'm like, excuse me, that's my violation of freedom of speech. And I'm still talking to my friend, and then the lecturer sent me out. Let's not say I sued the lecturer to court. In as much as the constitution say freedom of speech, you know, the constitution did not say don't talk when you're in class, don't talk when you are at the immigration. You know, normally there are exceptions to that freedom of speech, because of course when you're in the lecture and your teacher is talking, you cannot be talking to override the teacher. You understand, right? But it's not in the constitution, right? So let's not say I now took the lecturer to court that he violated my freedom of speech, which to a layman's language it looks like violation. So it's now the judge that will now interpret it that in as much as you have your freedom of speech, you're not supposed to talk while you are in lecture hall. Do you understand that? So most constitution, most statutory law, the law is just there. They don't have limits, they don't have maximum, they don't have exceptions or this thing. So it's now modern days that they started acting with they started amending. That's why some law you say something act as amended by, something had as amended by. And again, that thing is when they were drafting the law. So there are some tiny details that they did not think of. Just like this example that I gave. The member of parliament will not think that somebody will go to class and be talking when their lecturer is there. But let's not say many students, they now go to class and they will start talking, they will not start saying violation of my human rights. That's when the parliament will not say that, okay, freedom of speech, but don't talk when your lecturer is talking in class. You understand? So that exactly is the judge-made rule. So the judge-made rule means that there's actually a foundation, there's actually a clay, but then the judges had to breathe life into it for the case to actually make sense, like to come into effect. I hope you understand that. So that's one thing that A.C. Dicey, like a 19th century constitutional theologist, actually was scared of that. Even if, you know, there are some countries that they've undergone revolution. So a country undergoing revolution, they might put different laws inside their book. But so A.C. Dicey fear is that if another government actually assign sent into the position tomorrow, right, they might not actually follow the law, because constitution is just a piece of paper. It is only when the judge rule in favor of that rule, of that statutory law, that it actually becomes life. I hope you understand that. So that's judge-made rule. So if this video was helpful, give me a like, give me a share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for now. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.